Did you know that there is something the skeptics don't want you to discover? Something so powerful that it could change the way you see life and death forever? Today, you will learn about the story of Howard Pitman, a man who had the courage to cross over to the other side and come back with surprising revelations. What he saw challenges everything we believe. He didn't just glimpse what lies beyond the final breath, but also discovered who is waiting for each of us. And what if I told you that someone is already waiting for you on the other side, at this very moment? This story has been discredited by many skeptics who prefer to hide uncomfortable truths. But today, here, you will have access to something that few have dared to share. Get ready to question everything and stay with me until the end, because I will reveal a special gift that will make you see life in a completely new way. Before continuing, tell me where you're watching this video from and include the key phrase "life after death" in the comments. This will help spread this message to more people who need to hear it. Now, take a deep breath and get ready. Howard Pitman's story will move you like no other. Howard Pitman, a pastor and man of deep faith, went through a near-death experience that completely changed his view on life and eternity. In 1979, after suffering an aneurysm, he faced a critical moment when his soul seemed to disconnect from his physical body. During these moments, he reports having experienced something that transcends human understanding. He was taken to the other side, the crossing to the unknown. Pitman describes the beginning of his NDE, near-death experience, as a detachment from the body, a feeling of lightness, followed by a darkness that seemed infinite. Suddenly he was transported to an extraordinary place where an intense yet welcoming light emanated from all sides. In this place, he felt an indescribable peace, but also a deep unease, as if he were about to face something grand and definitive. The encounter with the portal and beings. He was led to a type of portal that seemed to be the entrance to the celestial kingdom. There, he encountered spiritual beings who radiated authority and serenity. These beings were imposing yet welcoming, and seemed to know everything about him, his mistakes, his choices, and even the most intimate thoughts he had never shared. Pitman reports that when he tried to justify his actions on earth, he was confronted with truths that he himself had ignored about his life's mission. He realized that unconditional love and spiritual purpose were far more important than he had understood up until that moment. The vision of judgment and the unfulfilled mission. Perhaps the most emotional moment was when he received a glimpse of what he called spiritual judgment. He was shown how his life had been analyzed based on his intentions, not just his actions. He saw how each choice echoed positively or negatively in others, like ripples in a pond. This profoundly impacted him. The transformation. After experiencing this, Pitman was told that he must return to his physical body. He felt an indescribable sadness at having to leave the other world, but also an urgency to fulfill a new mission on Earth, sharing what he had seen and warning people about the need to live in a more conscious and spiritual way. This experience not only changed his view of life, but also transformed him into a messenger. Howard Pitman dedicated his life to spreading the message that human existence is much more than what we perceive with our senses. And have you ever wondered what lies beyond what we see? This story is an invitation to reflect on eternity and the meaning of our actions. Who did Howard Pitman see on the other side, and the impact of those encounters? During his near-death experience, Howard Pitman reports encountering spiritual entities that challenged his perceptions of the afterlife. He described these beings as imposing and luminous, exuding a power and wisdom he had never experienced before. Despite their serene appearance, they were not there to comfort him, but to confront him with deep truths about his life and purpose. The spiritual beings. Pitman describes two types of entities he encountered. The guardian angels. According to him, these beings were responsible for accompanying his crossing to the other side. Their presence was intensely luminous and carried an aura of authority and purpose. Pitman believed they knew every detail of his life, including his most intimate thoughts. They did not speak directly, but the message they conveyed was clear. Life is not just about you. It is about the impact you make on others. He felt that these guardian angels were not there to judge him, but to show him how his choices had shaped his spiritual journey, the supreme presence. Although he did not see God directly, Pitman described feeling an infinite presence, a force that radiated love and justice at the same time. He was confronted with a simple yet powerful truth. The purpose of life is unconditional love and service to others. He realized that many of his actions on earth, although well-intentioned, were rooted in selfishness and self-promotion rather than genuine selfless love. The messages and teachings received, the power of intentions. He was taught that the intentions behind actions are more important than the actions themselves. Even a small gesture can have profound spiritual repercussions if it is done with true love. The impact on other lives. He saw a spiritual map that showed how his choices affected other people, both positively and negatively. Each decision was like a stone thrown into the water, creating waves that spread far beyond what he could imagine. The urgency of spiritual awakening. He was warned about how humanity is distracted by material goods and worldly pleasures, forgetting its connection to the divine. Connections with universal beliefs. Howard Pitman's accounts echo beliefs found in various spiritual traditions, the judgment of souls present in religions such as Christianity, Hinduism, and Islam. The idea that our actions and intentions are analyzed after death is a recurring theme. The role of angels and spiritual guides. Many cultures believe in beings who accompany the soul during the crossing to the other side, offering protection and guidance. Unity with the divine, the supreme presence that Pitman felt, reflects the vision of a God or universal energy that connects all things. Emotional impact of these encounters. Pitman returned with a sense of humility and urgency. He realized that what he saw was a powerful reminder for humanity. Prepare yourself, for life is a test, and what matters is not what you accumulate, but what you give away. Have you ever thought about the impact your choices have not only on your life, but on those around you? This story challenges us to seek a fuller life, aligned with a greater purpose. Reflections on life and death. Are we truly prepared? Howard Pitman's near-death experience is an invitation to reflect deeply on life and what awaits us after it. The journey to the other side confronts us with an inevitable question. Are we prepared for what comes after life? The purpose of life. Pitman realized during his experience that the true purpose of existence is not to accumulate material goods, achieve status, or satisfy selfish desires. He was shown that life is a preparation for something much greater, a kind of spiritual test where our choices and intentions shape our eternal journey. How many times have you asked yourself, what am I doing with my time here? Do my actions have a positive impact on the world? Am I living according to a greater purpose or just going with the flow? Howard Pitman teaches us that the answer to these questions is directly tied to how we treat the people around us and how we contribute to the collective good. Meeting eternity. His experience also brought forth an inescapable truth. Death is not the end, but a transition. He saw that the other side is as real as the world we live in, and that our daily choices have eternal consequences. But this leads us to an even deeper question. Are we living as if eternity were real, or are we neglecting our soul while chasing after temporary things? Spirituality as the foundation of existence. Pitman reminds us that spirituality is not just a religious matter, but a connection to something greater that transcends our understanding. Whatever your belief, he challenges us to view life as a gift that must be used wisely. He saw that every small act of kindness, every gesture of love, and every decision made with compassion carries immense weight on the other side. This understanding transforms the way we see life and reinforces the importance of seeking balance between the physical, mental, and spiritual. The meaning of existence. Perhaps the most important lesson from Pitman is this: life is precious because it gives us the opportunity to grow, love, and leave a legacy. It doesn't matter how many years we have or how great our material achievements are. What truly matters is the impact we leave in the hearts of people. Questions to reflect upon. If today were your last day, how would you like to be remembered? Have you dedicated yourself to something greater than yourself? What can you change today to live with more purpose? Howard Pitman returned from his experience with a mission to remind humanity that every second counts and that something much greater is waiting for us. This message is a powerful invitation for each of us to live with more awareness, compassion, and spiritual connection. And have you reflected on the meaning of your existence? Leave in the comments how you see the purpose of life and include the keyword eternal life so that we can spread this message to the world. Howard Pitman's revelations, lessons from the other world. Howard Pitman's near-death experience revealed profound truths that he felt were his mission to share with humanity. What he saw on the other side not only challenged his beliefs, but brought forth messages with the power to transform lives. The other world is real and is closer than we imagine. Pitman described the other world as something more real and tangible than he could have imagined. He said, "I wasn't in a dream or a daydream. What I saw was reality in its purest form, a spiritual world that coexists with ours, but that we can only access when we leave this body." And this revelation makes us question if the other world is as real as we think and how we are preparing for it. The purpose of human life. One of the most impactful lessons Pitman brought from his experience was about the true meaning of life. He learned that we are judged not only by our actions, but by the intention behind them. Life is not about how much you achieve, but about how you impact the world around you. Unconditional love and service to others are the only things we carry into eternity. Pitman revealed that many people are so busy with the distractions of modern life that they lose sight of this essential purpose, the struggle between good and evil. Another striking revelation was about the spiritual battle that happens constantly around us. He described how negative spiritual forces work to divert people from their true purpose, while beings of light fight to guide them back to the right path. The greatest trick of evil is to convince humanity that it does not exist. This ignorance is its greatest weapon. This vision reinforces the importance of cultivating a solid spiritual life, regardless of specific religious beliefs. The impact of every choice. Pitman was confronted with a panorama of his own life and saw how every choice, no matter how small, had a lasting impact. He described this moment as a judgment of intentions. "I saw how even the smallest acts of kindness create waves that spread, touching lives you would never imagine reaching. Similarly, acts of selfishness can cause destruction far beyond what you realize." This revelation makes us think, are we living consciously or merely reacting to circumstances? A warning for humanity. Pitman returned with an urgent message for the world. We are living as if the earth is all there is, but this is just the beginning. Don't wait until the last moment to adjust your life and align your heart with the eternal purpose. He believed humanity needs to awaken to the spiritual reality before it's too late. The lessons of Howard Pitman are an invitation to rethink our existence. No matter your religion or belief, the truths he shared challenge us to live with more awareness, love, and purpose. And are you living in alignment with a greater purpose? Write in the comments how you view these revelations and include the keyword eternal purpose to spread this message to the world. Reactions from the public and experts. How Howard Pitman's story was received. Howard Pitman's near-death experience generated diverse reactions among different groups, from skeptics to fervent religious followers and scholars of the phenomenon. Each audience interpreted his account through the lens of their own beliefs and perspectives. The skeptic's view, a rational explanation for skeptics. Near-death experiences like Howard Pitman's are explained by biological and psychological phenomena, They argue that the brain, deprived of oxygen during trauma, can generate intense visions and sensations. Some neuroscience experts point out that the visions of the other world could be caused by chemical discharges in the brain during the experience. The feeling of peace and the vision of beings of light would be evolutionary mechanisms to deal with the fear of death. However, Pitman challenged these explanations by stating that the level of detail and coherence in his experience was impossible to have been created by an unconscious mind. He said, "What I saw was beyond any human imagination. It wasn't a dream, but a reality more intense than anything I've ever lived." The impact on religious communities. Among religious groups, Pitman's experience was seen as confirmation of beliefs about life after death. Many spiritual and religious traditions talk about angels, beings of light, and a journey after death that aligns with what Pitman described. Christian groups, in particular, embraced his account as a warning to live according to spiritual principles. He was invited to churches and events to share his story, leading many people to reflect on their own spirituality. The other side is real, and unconditional love is the key to our eternal existence, Pitman stated in one of his speeches, leaving audiences emotional and often in tears. The perspective of EKM scholars, researchers of near-death experiences, NDEs, approached Pitman's story with curiosity and balanced skepticism. They pointed out that his account contains common elements in NDEs, such as the sensation of leaving the body, encounters with spiritual beings, and a life review. However, the details, such as the spiritual battle he witnessed, are less common and more difficult to explain. Scholars argue that these experiences can be transformative regardless of their scientific or spiritual origin. People who have undergone NDEs often report profound changes in their priorities and attitudes toward life. Pitman's narrative caused a deep emotional impact on many people. His account of his experience awakened hope for those who fear death. His descriptions brought comfort and the certainty that something beautiful awaits on the other side. Reflection. Many viewers began to question their own life choices and consider the impact of their actions. Transformation. Stories of people who changed their lives after hearing Pitman are common, ranging from family reconciliations to drastic career changes to live in a way more aligned with purpose. A story that does not leave one indifferent. Regardless of personal beliefs, Howard Pitman's story challenges, moves, and provokes reflection. Whether through its emotional authenticity or the profound issues it raises, his account continues to impact audiences around the world. And you, how do you react to this story? Do you believe there is something beyond this life? Write in the comments your opinion and include the keyword eternal life to be part of this transformative discussion. And now I ask you, what if everything Howard Pitman saw and experienced was true? How would that change the way you view life, your choices, and even how you treat those around you? Pause for a moment and reflect. Are we all living as if tomorrow is guaranteed? But what if it's not? What matters in the time we have here? Are we focused on the right things, or are we letting the essential pass unnoticed? Pitman left us with a clear message. Love, purpose, and intention are what we carry into eternity, and we don't need extraordinary experiences to start living with more meaning. Change can start now, with the small choices we make every day. So I invite you, if this were true, what would you change in your life today? Think about it. Write in the comments one thing you would do differently from this moment on, and include the keyword life purpose. Share this video with someone you love, because maybe this message is what they need to hear today. And remember, in the end, we will all meet on the other side. The question is, how do we want to get there?